stop referencing, Norm, or do I have to educate you?
That's also a lie, by the way.
When was there an airlift of black folks out of Africa by Canada? What Norm is trying to I'm challenging your first statement, then we'll challenge your second lie. When did the U.S. Canada airlift black folks out of Africa to freedom? Please tell us when and where, because I can tell you when Israel did it. Go ahead.
Oh my fucking god. Alright, so let's go look up United States and African refugees. This is
Not taking airlift out of Africa, risking their lives.
That's not what happened. You know that's not what Israel did, right?
That happened multiple times.
That's not what happened.
Well, now you're debating something.
Okay, so educate me. Okay.
He says, when did the United States do it?
Please provide a source. Nor please provide a source.
Operation Solomon.
I cannot wait for this source, Norm.
Operation Moses and Operation Solomon. You're very ignorant about this stuff. When did the U.S. do it?
No, please. You said Israel did it. Please tell us about it and get us a...
Sure. You wanted to learn about Operation Moses? Okay, hang on. Operation Moses. I can't believe how ignorant you are. Hey, aren't you embarrassed to not know this stuff? Claiming to be whatever it is you claim to be. Hang on, I'm unlocking my finger. So, Operation Moses was the covert evacuation of Ethiopian Jews from Sudan during the Civil War that caused a famine in 1984. Originally called Gur Amia Yehuda by Israelis, United Jewish Appeal changed name to Operation Moses. Date, November 21st, 1984 through January 5th, 1985. By the way, it was done by the Mossad. Unprecedented undertaking, a thrilling collaboration between the Mossad, the CIA, and Sudanese state security to smuggle 8,000 Beta Israel out of Ethiopia, where they faced hardship, persecution, famine, and death in a massive airlift to Israel. There's much more. That's just one. I guess you never heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of this. To be fair, I didn't actually know they were airlifted out, so I just looked.
Well, you didn't learn. You don't
take that out. I'll take that out. I didn't know they were airlifted out. I'll take that. The reason why
Nobody else did that, by the way.
Respectfully, I took that out. But how were those refugees treated once they arrived?
Integrated into society like any.
Nothing happened. Nothing controversial whatsoever.
Well, there was false charges that 35 people received Depo-Provera, which is a birth control injection, when they were in refugee camps because rape was widespread, but it was debunked. That's the question.
I'm going to look into the debunking of it. I'm going to look into it.
Any more? Let's move on. Do you have any other points?
Hold on, real fast.
Yeah, you'll find it. Yeah. What's your next question?
I'll find it.
Yeah, it was debunked. What's your next question?
I'm looking into that.
Okay. Well, can we move on, Mojo? He doesn't know what he's thinking about. Well, like I said, you couldn't find Israel on a map. Nor could you find this so-called Palestine. Nor could you even name a city.
Hey, I got a question for Truth. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm just reading about this one.
Yeah, so I just, real quick, when people chant from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, what river are they referring to?
He's got to Google it right quick. Bloody hell. I didn't expect this. Bloody hell. You couldn't find an
because I was on mute.
It's even better.
Hold on.
It's even better when you do it face to face, where they don't get an opportunity to use the Google machine. Like the next time you meet people, just ask them. Don't ask them in an accusatory way. Just ask them like you were curious. Just say, hey, so what river are they talking about? What sea are they talking about? And then just laugh at the answers that they give you, or laugh even more when they don't give you an answer.
Yeah, so anyway, look, what I was doing was reading about his claim that it was debunked. I don't know how the fuck I Googled something while reading something else. Anyway,
You said you are a different soul.
hold on. I don't need to go find it.
You admitted it. You are a different
I
cat.
can't find it. Yeah, on a different tab, reading about what we were just discussing.
Oh, you're right. You didn't know, did you? Just admit it. We didn't know.
About this.
Just admit it.
Yeah, tell me what you bro, you guys test motherfuckers' patience. I just looked the link in
You
your
don't have any
Where
patience.
is the debunking for them sterilizing Ethiopian women?
We're gonna have to follow.
You said no. You said it never happened. Now you're telling me
You had any other mojo? Why are we doing this?
Do we have to? Dude, debunking the lie? No, Zora.
I'm here.
No, I'm just asking to have a little patience. The guy self-identified as a retard, so we have to be a little patient.
Jesus, give me patience. Anyway, like I said, you made a claim that the Ethiopian Beta Israelites being airlifted, and to my credit, to your credit, I admitted that I actually didn't know they were airlifted. I just always assumed it was caravan or some shit. Now I know why you emphasize the fuck out of the word airlift. But regardless, I did know about the plan though. I did not know about the airlift, but regardless of that, the main contention was that when they got there, they were sterilized. Now, you told me that was debunked. I took it on face value because I just took the L on the airlift, so I said, hey, look, maybe I'm wrong. I go and look it up. I can't find a single fucking source debunking it, but I'm finding a bunch of sources verifying it. So if you would do me one last favor, and I'm sure if you, I don't know, maybe you want people thinking that Israel sterilized black people just because they're black?
No, you're a fucking lying anti-Semite. I don't want anybody to think like you. The article is in the chat halfway. I'm sorry, you're not halfway, you're a quarter way. The article is in the chat. Who's next?
This is a joke, though.
Who's
you
next?
have a third party.
Who's next? No more. Mojo, he's too stupid.
Do you have a third party news publication?
There are many. You've been debunked.
This guy gave me Russian today to talk about Russia.
Hey, guys, look, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on. It's clear that like, look, this whole room, the title of the room is Bema Lectures to Jews About Zionism. I think this room's been kind of a letdown because I haven't heard anything that was educational. I'm looking for somebody, whether it's the self-identified retard or Bema who rejects the term, to continue to educate the Jews on the stage and in the room about Zionism. And honestly, like, I find it fascinating how much information you experts have on this topic. It's absolutely amazing, especially considering when asked what river, what sea.
No evidence Ethiopian women were forced to take birth control. That's in the chat. That's just one of many publications to debunk your lies, which are pathetic.
Okay, so find me one that's third party. Find one that's not based in Tel Aviv.
What's the third party?
Find
Okay, Mojo, read it first.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. How about this?
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of gently move past this topic. I'm gonna go ahead and just ask a question, and it has nothing to do with Israel. It has nothing to do with Palestine. I want to shift gears a little bit and see where the room is at, because this other topic, people kind of shift gears. There's a lot of intellectual inconsistency here. I want to ask about the conflict that's happening between Russia, Ukraine, What do you guys think happened there? Anybody want to take a poke at what happened there? Because this is one that fascinates me because I see people, like, when I look at these two conflicts, for me personally, I see Russia invaded Ukraine, ergo Russia bad, retaliatory force good, ergo Ukraine doing what they need to do. If you go into the Israel conflict with Hamas, Hamas is a terrorist group. They attacked Israel's civilians, women and children. They still have hostages to this day. Ergo, Hamas committed the act of aggression, and the retaliatory force, the righteous retaliatory force, is being used by the IDF. And I see these things pretty black and white. But I also see people that are, you can be pro-Israel and then pro-Russia, or any combination thereof. And I'd like to talk about that thing. Norm, why do you think there are people in the U.S. and in the West that can look at those two situations and end up on the wrong side of either of those? And specifically, I want to start transitioning this conversation into Russia, Ukraine, but is there a reason why you think people in the West have a problem calling out naked?
And people have a weird obsession, as we've just seen, based on moronic inability to think. They have weird obsessions about Jews. It's been around for thousands of years, all these myths and lies. Oh, you killed Jesus. Oh, you killed God. Oh, you use Christian babies' blood to make monsters. Oh, not that you risked your life to save your Ethiopian brother. Oh, you gave them birth control. Oh, one bunch of bullshit after another. Just endless bullshit. By the way, only people in human history that lifted black folks out of Africa to freedom rather than slavery. Did Truth ever say thank you? He took an L. He didn't say thank you, or he didn't say I was wrong. No. So why? Because people have a weird, sick obsession. And by the way, I figured out why they have this obsession, Mojo. Especially folks who have been oppressed and suffered slavery themselves, like us. It's because they see the redemption in our narrative, that once we were slaves and now we're free. That song is written about the Jews who were enslaved in Egypt. It's a gospel song that black folks sing in this country, America. Once we were slaves and now we're free. Once we were blind, now I can see. They make a mistake in their brain thinking that the story must be about them. It's not enough that this beautiful story, our Torah, applies to them as it applies to every human being. Yes, your suffering has meaning, but something clicks in some people's minds, like people in this room, and they think that they have to be us. And so they hate themselves, and they take that self-hate and focus on us and say, you're not the real thing, we're the real thing. Even though it's just an absurd contention. It's like a personality disorder. Then they'll tell you what you think and feel in order to avoid admitting what their own low self-esteem and sense of worthlessness. That was a bit of a psychological lecture. I should publish that.
I see. Okay. Anybody else on the stage want to tell me when they look at the Russia-Ukraine conflict, who they see as the aggressor? Anybody want to answer that? Bima, I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on who the aggressor is with Russia-Ukraine.
Always the state. It's always the state. Russia wouldn't be able to do what it was able to do without the violent back force of the state. They're not a bunch of Russians that are so pissed off that a few Ukrainians wanted to live the way that they wanted to live, declare independence however many years ago. They didn't give a shit. They're just following orders like the sheep that they are to do what government and daddy says. And then that's the collectivist disease. It's always the government. These aren't people warring back and forth. This isn't a civil war.
So you would agree that you would agree that it's the tyrants, Putin, that invaded Ukraine. You'd agree with that?
I'd say, of course, but more so, right? Putin didn't go by himself. He wasn't just this person born to the planet with all of this military power, right? He got it. How did he get it? Through belief. People, a fucking superstition. Bunch of people believe that he has some authority and they're just gonna follow and do what he says. So they're gonna go and harm innocent people and violate other people who are just trying to live. This is what it is. Always the government. Always the government.
Kind of sounds like what Hamas did to Israel.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, you agree on that? Interesting.
No, absolutely.
15 minutes ago.
You just didn't listen, Harry. More Harry argumentation. I'll tell you what. Who Hamas should
That should
have
be an
fought.
official term, Harry argumentation.
Harry, yeah, I put it too. I like it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't like it for the reasons why you like it, but I find Harry to be very.
Harry.
He's got a common sense approach to these things. Like, like if somebody commits an act of terrorism, he calls them terrorists. And if somebody kills a terrorist, he says, yeah, that was probably the right thing to do. I think Harry's argumentation is rooted in common sense.
No, what should have happened, Harry, is as soon as people, whoever they might be, IDF, whatever entity began building a wall, they should have Palestinians should have fucking taken out, slaughtered it right there as soon as they started to put them in and tell them that they couldn't free people and travel peacefully. Take them off. Take it right there. And I would have been right fucking there. I also would have been right fucking there with that day on October 7th when these Hamas, these terrorists came in and decided to harm innocent people. Those innocent people were the people who created these blockades, who are starving, who are sending the war, who are sending the rockets, and who are destroying the infrastructure. No, it's the individuals. And the Palestinians should have taken every motherfucker out. That peaceful protest that happened before October 7th for 8 months, bullshit. Every single IDF, I don't give a shit, that stood there, that blockaded them, told them they couldn't get food, take them out. As soon as they said, oh, I'm gonna put a gun to your head, I have inherent moral authority over you. I'm gonna tell you when you can move and what you can do and how you can get aid. Other people, take them out. I'll tell you about the flotillas as well. The flotillas coming, peaceful people coming to aid other peaceful people in exchange. IDF, those people should be taken the fuck out. Now IDF, take them the fuck out, right? You don't interfere with peace or
You keep repeating yourself, but everything you said is actually wrong. If you actually know the history about what was going on over there for the past 60 years, you would realize why there was a wall put up in the first place. I don't know if you've ever heard about the first Intifada or the second Intifada, but that was pretty much the primary reason that why there was a fucking wall in the first place. Second of all, the people in Gaza had the right to freely go into Israel and work into Israel, make money inside of Israel. And who do you think was supplying Gaza with electricity, water? Who do you think was supplying? You think it was their own infrastructure?
As soon as you tell somebody that...
No, of course it matters. Of course it matters. You didn't let me finish.
Sure, go ahead,
So
Jared.
the first Intifada and the second Intifada, people were Palestinians who are... Hamas are Palestinians, by the way. I don't know who you think Hamas are. They're just some random people in Gaza that, no, they're Palestinians. That's who they are, first of all. They would go inside of Israel. They would kill people, family, little kids. This is way before October. This is years and years ago. They would go on to, you can look this up. There was a story of a Palestinian terrorist. You can call him Hamas, you can call him Palestinian terror, whatever you want to call him. Went onto a bus, a city bus that was taking kids to school and blew up the fucking bus as a suicide bomber and killed the innocent kids. And this was just one instance out of many.
That was during the first Intifada, the second Intifada, which was the reason why the Israeli government decided, hey, we need to put a wall up, we need to make sure this is regulated, people can't just keep coming inside and out of Israel without being checked to see if they have any bombs on them, weapons on them, to come and commit terrorist attacks. So it's not just like, let's just put up a wall just to put up a wall. There was a reasoning for it, right? So maybe if you actually understand the reasoning behind things, you would realize why that happened. It's not just because we wanted to put up a wall for fun, okay?
Right, yeah, that's what I hear, but my issue is, what year was the wall put up, do you know?
I don't know. I can go look that up. I have no idea exactly what it was because it wasn't just a 1 year thing. It was over time they did that. So
The security wall was a response to the Intifada, like you say, Harry.
That's right. See, El Normo knows. He knows.
Wait, what's
so like
the-
2000,
well, you didn't.
right?
You didn't even know what the second Intifada was.
Hold on. I know how listen, what, that's hilarious. We could, do you understand you could just keep going back though? You go with the second Intifada, the first Intifada, and then what happened before that? Then the Lebanon War, and then what happened before that? The Yom Kippur War, all around the same time. Wait, we could go back, yeah.
Yom Kippur wasn't against Palestinians, by the way.
Well, what happened before that?
Wait, why don't you stay with one topic at a time? It's like ADD over here.
Yeah, but hold on, but no, but this is what I'm talking, and you just keep going back. You had the Lebanon insurgency, then before that, you had the war, 6-day war, before that, you had the...
One at a time, people, one at a time. Okay, you mentioned...
Hold on, can I finish just talking to Harry real quick?
But you're just rambling around, like take one point at a time. Yom Kippur War in 1973 was a sneak attack on the holiest Jewish day of the year in an attempt to wipe out Israel. What point are you making about it?
Why did that happen? Why did that
Because
happen?
they told us why. They wanted to wipe out Israel. They said it.
Who attacked who, specifically?
Syria and Egypt attacked Israel.
Syria and Egypt attacked Israel.
And again, Yom Kippur War is famous.
I mean, I learned the war.
We don't know. I mean, so listen. And by the way, they had way more tanks than we did, and they almost achieved it. And we fought it out in the Golan Heights, which was why when we took the Golan Heights and beat them, a freaking miracle, by the way. I remember you know how old I am. 2 airplanes. Of course, I was very young when I was in college. Not kidding about that. 2 airplanes full of guys left my college, which was Brandeis, to go to Israel to help out. 2 airplanes full. I remember it well, Yom Kippur, 1973. Syria attacked with all of these tanks. They outnumbered us like 10 to 1. And these incredible, brave Israeli tank commanders outmaneuvered them and crushed them. We could have taken Damascus at that time, by the way. We could have taken Cairo as well. That's how good we are. So, yeah, they attacked us and tried to wipe us out. You didn't know this, Bina?
Well, what relevance?
That's
That has no relevance to do with Palestinians. Like she just brings stuff up that's honestly really irrelevant to what the conversation was about.
Of course it does. Of course it does, because it's all, you don't think that it's all connected? You don't think that
not at all.
Okay.
How is it connected if it's a nation, sovereign nation attacking Israel?
Why did you could answer your own question. Why was it that they attacked Israel specifically?
Because they don't want it to exist.
They said it. They said it in words. They want to wipe us out.
If you were to read a historical, you can even do an Israeli.
Bima. One word. Genocide was their reason. Genocide. They said it in so many words. Want to wipe us out. That's genocide. Now, what do you want to excuse that? I thought you liked it. I thought you didn't like it when they attacked peaceful people.
So you're saying, no.
Yeah.
That giggle.
Tried to commit to.
Hold on. Can I say what that giggle represented? That giggle represented El Normo. That's a really good point, and I don't know what to say. Bima.
No, to be honest, it's slightly disingenuous because yes, and I here let me meet you in the middle before I make you think I'm an enemy. So we're innocent Jewish people being attacked, settlers, etc. Yes, but from the perspective,
there were no settlers.
Hold on, but that's what I'm saying. From the perspective of the Arabs, they just watched people get displaced and lose their land and
No, they didn't.
replaced.
No, they didn't. They were expanding. They were expansionists. They wanted to conquer a sovereign nation and wipe out all the people in a genocide. They could.
They were very hateful. It's disgusting. I of course that's true.
There was no settlers.
Well,
You still don't know the map. Where Syria is, you know where the Golan Heights are? Well, why don't you take your little
Is
map
that
and go
northern
now and
Israel?
look at it?
That's not northern Israel.
Look at it on a map. So where were the
I mean, that's
settlers?
Lebanon right there. But wait,
Where were the settlers? You really don't know what you're talking about. You literally.
oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying there were no settlers.
These people don't understand that.
Direct region. I'm not talking about.
You've never seen a map. You never took 2 seconds to look at a
Okay,
map.
I literally know the. Okay, anyway, I'm not talking about.
You literally know what? What do you literally know?
The specific states in the area, the formation of the Middle East. It's not the.
I don't think you do.
That's very
I
basic.
don't think. Okay.
Please,
Here, let me show you how wrong you are.
Disrespectful. I just wish you'd calm down a bit. Like it's weird.
Well, no, this is the way I am. You
No.
have to get used to it.
I know.
This is the way I order eggs in the morning.
I'll give you that. That's true.
This is the way I order eggs in the morning. By the way,
I believe it.
I was just as nasty to the white supremacists the other day
I
than
know.
you did on Twitter.
I believe. I've seen you with your friends, and they literally tell you they complain just like I do. So.
Well, they're welcome to complain, but you know what? I hate to say this.
No, this is not personal, right?
The girls love it, by the way. I don't know why, but they do. They're drawn to nasty guys like me. Anyway, so when is Judea and Samaria, which Jordanian colonists called the West Bank, which is ridiculous. There's no Jordan has no business being there. When Judea and Samaria were occupied, right? Who did we occupy it from, if you know? Truth. And when?
You said I actually don't know. Sorry.
Jordan.
Do you need to know any more?
Wow,
I'm shocked. No.
He said that he didn't know something.
It's
Yeah,
not
you
hard.
don't know the region. You don't understand the geography. You haven't seen a map. Jordan attacked Israel in 1967. Up until then, they maintained domination of our holiest site, which is called the Kotel, the wall of the western wall of the temple. And when they attacked in 1967, Israel begged them not to attack. They did anyway because they didn't want to lose face among the other Arab nations. It was Egypt to the west. It was Syria to the north, and it was Jordan to the east. Jordan attacked, and they lost.
And it's interesting to note that while Jordan, quote unquote, occupied Judea and Samaria, they also destroyed almost 60 Jewish chunks. They looted and completely desecrated holy grounds to the territory. And when Israel took over after the war in 67, right, when they took it back in 67, they allowed the Waqf to maintain control of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. They didn't destroy anything.
That's correct. The Waqf, W-A-Q-F. That's right. That's the religious authority.
Yeah.
You probably didn't know this either, Truth. Did you know that these so-called Palestinians had Jordanian passports? I don't know what makes them Palestinian. They had Jordanian passports. So I got another one for you.
Hold on, I just triple checked. I knew I was right. So
what?
Israel had begun settling in those territories in the Sinai Peninsula.
What territories?
In the Sinai Peninsula and
We were talking about Syria.
I'm talking about back when we were talking about the young.
You said there were settlers. There were no settlers for them to attack. There were no settlers in the Golan. We're talking about Syria.
The Golan Heights that's Syria. That's right.
That's north. You said Sinai Peninsula.
Up there.
Hold on, so if I'm not mistaken,
They were Israeli farms.
The 6-day war happens. They capture that territory. To be fair, hey, they took it in war. They attacked them. But to be fair, they also attacked because that was when they first came and took the land in the first place. So that was a response.
Who took what land?
From my understanding, the WZO negotiated with the Ottomans and the British to secure.
Dude, who took what land? What are you talking about?
The Zionists purchased what we would consider Israel, modern day Israel.
What do you mean?
And they displaced
Israel
700,000
was
inhabitants.
created on May 14th, 1948.
I guess you never heard of the UN partition plan either.
That's what I'm describing right now. No, it was a purchase agreement before. You don't even trust me.
Okay,
It was
so what are you
happening
talking about
by
Syria?
1920. No, people think Israel was 1940. It was like 19. Norm, you know it, right? Was it like 1920?
Don't try to get me on your side.
Hold on,
You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no, I
I don't
thought
know what you're talking about. You literally
I thought-
don't.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Everyone, hold on.
But you know I'm wrong.
No, everyone holding on includes people that self-identify as retards. So I just want to just ask this question, Trudy. When you think about the conflict between Israel and Hamas and the this idea of Palestinians or this imaginary place of Palestine, would you consider yourself, like, scale from 1 to 10, 10 being a fucking expert on the history of this conflict, and then 1 being you know nothing at all? Where would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 on your knowledge of it?
I'll give 2 scales. 1 a personal scale, 2 a public scale. Because like most people probably are like literally functioning as like a 0. And compared to them, they would think like a 6, but by my own standard, like a 4.
Yeah, you're 4. Okay, got it. So I would just say this, right? Considering you didn't know what river, I'm going to be kind to you. I'm going to be kind to you. Listen, I'm going to be. Hold on. I'm going to be very kind to you, and I'm going to say that your estimation of a 4 is an overestimation. I'm not going to say if I think you're a 1. Hold on. I'm not going to say you're a 1. I'm not going to say you're a 2. I'm not going to say you're a 3. Hold on. Listen, I'm talking. Listen, I get it. Self-identified retards.
You said 1948. I said the 1920s. The Balfour.
Is there a reason why you don't understand that I was the one speaking? No, you're trying to interrupt me. I'm not going to let you do that. I don't let self-identified retards have an excuse to interrupt me. You can just stay silent.
I just have to reply.
You will absolutely get a chance to reply. I like it when self-identified retards reply to what I have to say. It's amusing to me. So let me just finish. You said that this is your score, that you're about a 4 expert on this conflict. I'm going to say that based on what I've heard today, considering you don't know what river it was, that you were probably less than a 4. And I'm not even going to score it 1, 2, or 3. I'm just going to let your imagination, decide where I might rank you on the scale. What I would also like to ask is a question, and you will get to reply, but just a quick question. Norm, when you think of this conflict, the history of Israel, Hamas, and claims made by the imaginary group of people called Palestinians, would you consider yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 knowing nothing, 10 knowing everything? Where would you rank yourself, Norm? Excellent. I would say that is probably an underestimation, because I think you have a very good understanding of this stuff. And by the way, when who the hell am I to decide this stuff? Listen, I observe stuff. I read everything. When I talk to people that are genuine historians about this stuff, it seems like while there are definitely opinions that may vary, when it comes to the facts, I think Norm is very strong with the facts, and I think truth. What I would encourage you to do, and I promise you're going to get to reply, what I would encourage you to do is do some study, figure out what river, figure out what sea, figure out who the Palestinians are, what their lineage is, because you tried to explain it earlier and you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I would just ask you to do a lot of research and then come back to the room with what resembles facts, and then have a good faith conversation with Norm.
Thank you for giving me a chance to reply. So everything I said was correct. I was talking about the genetic lineage of. I was asked like, what is a Palestinian? I said, well, they're a descendant of the.
Wait, hold on, Truth. I was just gonna ask Roger. Roger, do you remember what he answered when you? Because I remember. I almost remember word for word what his answer was. Do you remember what?
Yeah, he went off on this weird tangent about Canaanites.
No, he didn't. Okay, wrong.
No, actually,
Okay,
he did.
continue.
Bima, why would you? Okay, listen, Bima, you're not going to interrupt the self-identified retard. This is ableism, Bima, so I had to move you down to the audience so you don't commit acts of ableism. No, Truth, I'm going to give you the self-identified retard. I'm going to give you the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, when I spoke about the Levant, and I even said then, I was like, I'm not some expert from off the top of the head. Like, they're descendants of people from the Levant. They have more genetic ancestry to the region than the modern day Israeli does on average. Like, it's mostly like what Sephardic Jews and fucking Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews are from like Spain. So anyway, no, that's been proven. I can get.
No, it hasn't been. The opposite has been proven.
There's more that I have to reply.
The opposite has been proven.
There's more that I have to reply to, because I was treated, and in fact, I kind of have a bone to pick with you, because I asked you to come in and verify what I was saying, because I wasn't wrong, and because it
you were wrong.
Your narrative,
you just every single thing you said.
No. You gotta let me finish.
Everything.
You have the Balfour Declaration,
Everything.
right? In 1917, you have. And by the way, this is
are we starting over?
This is what's
What is
going
it that you said that you were right about?
Stop. You gotta let me finish. I promised a chance to finish.
True.
So
what did you say when you said you were right about?
Because you got mentioned, you don't need to jump in real fast.
Truth, what did you say that you're claiming you were right about?
Please. What you're about to
No, I'm trying to understand.
It's hard for me to think and hear you. Please, bro.
Okay, so just listen to me.
I'm
What did you say
let
that you
you
were
talk.
so you weren't right about it, right?
No, I'm
You're
asking
wrong.
you to stop interrupting me. I can't
Okay.
hear you and think.
So don't make false statements and you won't hear from me,
Cool,
okay?
okay, whatever, you're right, whatever, please.
Okay.
So, like I was in the middle of saying, right? The thing I mentioned was the Balfour Declaration in 1917, and I think this
What
is
would you
actually
like
an
to say
important
about
piece of
that?
history, because I think it's a beautiful moment in history for Jews. I don't think it's something to hide, like, it's not, I'm not bringing it up as a gotcha.
Well, what does it have to do
I'm
with
just
anything?
expressing my perspective on the
What
history.
about it?
of why
Everybody
this
knows
all happened.
about it. What is your point?
Because I think actually the way they were treated is horrible. I think anyone with common decency and reads the history
What do you
is kind
think
of nuts,
about
right?
the Balfour
Because
Declaration?
there's a
What's
lot.
your
Can
point?
you please stop interrupting me? There's
Well,
a ton
just
of
get to the point. You're just
anti-Semitism on the
suffering.
rise in the world. Yo, there's
You're
a ton of
suffering.
anti-Semitism on the rise in the. Oh my fucking god, Nor.
Yeah. So what point do you want to make about
Let me
Balfour?
talk, bro. Mojo literally promised I'd get to reply to him, and you have not shut up yet.
I mean, you're not rebutting him. You're just wasting everybody's
I'm not
time.
talking to you, Nor. I'm replying
You're not
to
rebutting him.
I'm
You're
replying
not
to
rebutting
him.
him.
Just let him reply so we can demolish him after he replies. Go ahead.
He doesn't ever say anything.
Bro, this isn't the Norm show.
Yeah, it is actually.
I know that's how you think.
You're wrong about that,
I know
too.
you're a narcissist, but
What do you want to say about? No, you're the narcissist. I mean,
Okay,
what
so
do
we
you want
go
to say
on
about-
mute for 5
What
seconds.
do you want to say about Balfour?
Thank you. And no, I think this is important because I think this is where people can at least agree and meet in the middle, right?
So far, nothing you've said is important.
Cool, love you. Anyway, so there was a fuck ton of anti-Semitism. Jews were no longer feeling safe in various countries that they had the largest concentration, sadly. And so they begin to talk about it. And this is where you get Zionism, and it wasn't even always originally going to be that area. But
Zionism has existed for thousands of years. That's not where you get Zionism.
Yeah, I know. Zionism is the idea of a Zion. But I'm talking about like the secular Zionism, even like the treating of
It wasn't secular. It wasn't secular. You're just throwing
Well,
about everything.
what I mean, it was. Well, hold on. What I mean is, you know what I'm talking about. They literally created.
No, I don't. Nobody does.
Exactly. I'm blanking on his name now. He literally said we need a secular variant of Zionism. He specifically said it, and he was correct. No, hold on. Just please stop. Let me just say what I'm saying. Because it was important that happens, and that's how you start getting it. You have the first Aliyah, the second Aliyah, and then sadly, of course, the third, which is like, and then that after that's the Holocaust, and then you get the millions come. And so I'm super sympathetic to the Jews going to that area, immigrating to that area, I don't look at them as like these bad, nasty people. That's not the thing. I'm not an anti-Semite. That's why I hate that I kept getting called an anti-Semite.
What
I'm saying is,
you say a lot of anti-Semitic nonsense.
no,
Based on ignorance.
so when they
Hold on. I want to intervene real quick. Two things. Norm, you're going to have to let the self-identified retard finish his points. We're going to have to be even more, just patient because he's self-identified. I do not want this rumor to come out of this room that we're being ableist, so I definitely need you, Norm, to allow the guy to speak. But the other thing I wanted to say about this is that you can use anti-Semitic tropes and not be an anti-Semite. The real test of that is when an educated Jew or even an educated person on the topic corrects you. If you continue to use the anti-Semitic tropes after it's brought to your attention that it's anti-Semitic, then you might be an anti-Semite. And so I will forgive people that use anti-Semitic tropes because many people don't know that they're anti-Semitic tropes. But once you're confronted with the truth, if you reject it and continue to use the tropes, then you get the smoke.
if I even touch that, that's a whole new can of worms. So I'm just, oh my god, I just reject the idea I ever said an anti-Semitic trope. But
pretty much everything you said was.
No, Norm, you're gonna let him speak.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
He's gonna get 3 minutes uninterrupted, followed by 3 minutes of Norm uninterrupted.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'll try to make it as fast as possible. So yeah, you have the British Mandate, the Balfour Declaration, the Zionists successfully getting Britain to express support to create a national home, the negotiation with the Ottomans, the Aliyah series, which is like, I think there was 5 of them. The third one was the nasty one after World War I. No, there was another one after that from Poland that was pretty bad because like the anti-Semitism was getting on the rise. And then the biggest Aliyah was the one just before the Holocaust. And then the Holocaust when like 1 million came. And so the region that they were immigrating to just started ballooning in concentration, which is, you know, from a sympathetic stance, good, because now Jews are given an opportunity to have their own land where they're more safe from the anti-Semitism, which was real, as proven by the Holocaust. But for the locals in the area, all they saw was colonizers using their wealth and adjacency to colonial powers to like kind of imperially land grab, right? And to be fair, this is why I think nuance is always important. It's probably a bit of both. It's really naive to assume that all these, as millions of Jews are moving there, none of them are looking at this as a huge financial opportunity and possibly causing, let's say, discomfort to their neighbors. Now, that being said, nothing that they were doing, in my opinion, justifies the level of crazy racism they experienced. Like that whole behind every rock, behind every book. Like, no, it's a religious kind of hatred that's going on. So I'm not trying to downplay that. I have my own experience with racism as a black person, so I can't imagine what that is. I have Jewish people in my family. I've always been very sympathetic to that. I'm not trying to downplay that at all. But I think what happened is, at some point, the Jews became, they were the winner. The 6-Day War is crazy. And that's another thing. Fuck, I'm probably running out of time, so let me make sure I read this up. The 6-Day War is another example of, like, they did not have that coming. That's insane. They almost got genocided. And in a miraculous, as Norm was talking about, in a miraculous turn of events, they dominated. They secured new territory from people attacking them, which is just badass. I just think that's such a badass thing. And historically, if you go to war, you conquer territory, you don't have to give it up. They gave up some of it. They didn't have to. They kept less than they gave back in an attempt to get peace. It didn't work. Like 20 to 15 years later, the same states tried again. The Yom Kippur. And it just shows that there was really a high level of hostility to them, and nothing they were doing was like successful in creating fair treatment. But again, now from the other side, from the flip side, the Arabs were mad from the beginning from the UN partition plan. Right now, to be fair, there was violence against Jews before the partition plan, but it escalated dramatically after the partition plan because it